All right, welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to get into a variety of topics, but this first topic, we're going to talk about how Tesla Model 3 inventory, there is a hack to basically get over almost $1,350 off a brand new, not a demo, inventory Tesla Model 3. And we'll take a look at to see if any of those are actually good deals. Of course, you've probably been a follower of the channel and you know my thoughts on the Tesla Model 3. But if you need a car right now, it might be a pretty slick deal. And we'll also talk about my prediction in the future on what I feel like the Tesla Model 3 will be going to. But I want to hear from you all as well. What pricing do you think it's worth it for the Tesla Model 3? Do you think it should be a little bit lower, or do you think it's a buy right now? So we're going to get into that plus a variety of topics. But before we do that, let's roll that intro real quick. All right, so thanks for watching another stream. Thanks for watching another video. My name is Dennis, and I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description, where you can get access to the ultimate Tesla buying guide out there that has links to all the credit unions and banks out there that all have interest rates lower than Tesla financing. So definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description. And shout out to my latest Patreon members. We got Mike, Billy. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for checking it out. If you want to check it out, Patreon link .com/DennisCW down below in the description. But let us take a look at this. So shout out to Sawyer Merritt. He posted this the other day, and I really just didn't think anything of it. I just saw Tesla offering up to a $1,350 discount off Tesla Model 3 inventory in the US. And I really thought, this has always been the thing, because we've been seeing demo discounts all the time, right? It happens. It especially happens more at the end of the month and also the end of the quarter. If you don't know where the end of the second quarter is, that's next month, which is June of the end of the quarter. And so we're going to see a lot of different things come out of the woodwork. I assume Tesla's going to bring a lot of incentives out of the queue. They're going to probably bring back free supercharging like they've brought back for the Model S and the Model X. I could easily see that coming back for the Model 3, or maybe even some more discounts, or even maybe a subsidized interest rate. Right now on the Model S and the Model X, you can get 3.99% financing and 3 years of free supercharging. Definitely a pretty slick deal in my opinion. Not too bad at all. I mean, I almost wish we waited just a little bit, but at the end of the day, it's still not a bad deal. But this is the hack. If you want to go into any inventory vehicle, you will notice and you will see that any of the vehicles on the Tesla website for Model 3 specifically have adjusted prices, which is lower than what they were before, and they are essentially discounted to where they're at. So here's an example. I use websites like waitingfortesla.com because it's a third-party aggregator site where you can see all the different inventory that's posted on Tesla's websites across the country. And you can see right here, the cheapest priced brand new Tesla Model 3, not a demo, is a 2023 Tesla Model 3 rear-wheel drive. It's white with black interior, so no added frills, no options or anything like that. It's in Reno, Nevada. I mean, you can see there's a handful of them all on the website, all available for sale, and they all have $1,210 discounts. And the best thing with that, the beauty of these vehicles, if you click on the link, it takes you to Tesla.com. But the beauty is that all of these vehicles also qualify for the tax credit, whether it's $77,500 on the Model 3 Performance or $3,750 on the rear-wheel drive standard range. So effectively, you get a $1,200 discount on top of the $3,750 price adjustment not price adjustments, the tax credit. So that's not bad. $3,750 plus $1,210. That's going to give you almost $5,000 off. Of course, a big portion of it is the tax credit, which you get next year. But there are ways, if you want to take advantage and basically get the same benefit of getting the tax credit now, or getting the advantage of the tax credit now, you can use financing partners like Tenet down below in the description, where you can check out Tenet, because Tenet allows you to finance vehicles a little bit differently. This video is actually sponsored by Tenet, and how they allow you to do this because they allow you to defer a portion of the auto loan all the way to the end, maybe even that tax credit, $3,750 or $7,500. This allows you to get a lower monthly payment, which could be good for business owners, people that want more cash flow. And so there is a strategy there where you use Tenet, defer off that portion of the loan, get the tax credit next year, pay off Tenet, and then maybe even refinance the whole thing with a credit union. We'll talk about credit unions and the advantages, the pros and cons a little bit later in the live stream, but definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Every single Model 3 that I've seen so far while I'm scrolling through all these pages have the older, really a lot older adjusted price. I mean, if we take a look at the price history tracker right here, you can see at one time there was the price of the Model 3 at $39,990, but this is basically a base price of $39,000. And then if you factor in the $3,750 tax credit, this is essentially the lowest price a Tesla Model 3 has ever been ever. So definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know if any of these are stick out to you in terms of a great deal or a good deal, but this is very interesting. And so my feedback is, if you need a car right now, definitely try and lock down one of these. You know, I really like long standard ranges because they are good daily driver vehicles. You don't really need that long range. If you don't need the range and you got to get used to charging infrastructure, or at least have a home charger, this might be a phenomenal deal at the end of the day. But at the flip side to that is that it is May right now, so it's only the second month of the second quarter. June is coming up. June is the last month of the quarter, the second quarter, and I can tell you from what we've seen in the past, Tesla at the end of every quarter pulls out all the stops, pulls out all the different incentives. So we could see some better financing rates. We could see some better programs or deals, maybe even incentives, free supercharging. And that would be what I would be looking for in the next month or so. Maybe even another extra $1,000 discount. I mean, because we can see right now, there is essentially a $1,200 discount on every single inventory Model 3 vehicle right now out there. And Model 3 inventory levels are not going anywhere at all. They're still staying really, really high, really elevated at 759 vehicles posted on the website. This is Matt Young's chart where you can see all the different inventory here. So it really seems like this extra discount, inventory hack, promotional pricing is not doing anything to the inventory. So of course, this could be because of the Osborne effect, because there's the new Model 3 Highland that could be coming out. There's hardware 4 that's looming around. There's a bunch of different stuff. And on top of it, I'm going to say that this is probably because of price cannibalization as well. The Model Y is just not that much more than the Model 3. And so a lot of people are probably looking at this and thinking, why don't I just get a Model Y on top of that? And so if you're out there, if you haven't placed an order yet, if you need a vehicle, definitely try and score one and take one in inventory. And if you are going to place a order on a vehicle, we would love it if you use our referral code down below in the description where you can support the channel. It's the Tesla Dennis45178, because if you use our referral code and you take delivery, you can get extra Tesla credits, which you can then use for supercharging, Tesla loot box, a bunch of other stuff in the Tesla shop, and that translates to about 500 supercharger miles that you can use for road trips. So definitely check it out. Tesla referral code down below in the description. But we're going to jump into our next topic. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is a Patreon link where you can support the channel. And there's a variety of benefits, but some of them include actually scheduling a call with me, where you can ask me any questions about buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or even financing a Tesla. And after you join the Patreon, you get a link to my buying guide, which is the ultimate buying guide out there that has links to all the different credit unions and banks that all have interest rates lower than Tesla financing, lower than Tesla's right here on the screen, 5.59%. Some even as low as 3.74%. Down to 2.99% for financing your Tesla. So definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description. And as an added benefit, I do respond to all Patreon DMs or direct messages in the Patreon app at a certain membership level. So definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description. All right, water break. Hope everyone's doing well today. Happy Sunday. Start of a new week, I guess. Tomorrow, Monday, it's going to be very, very, very interesting because this is essentially the last week of the month, or almost, I guess, second to last week. We got 1 week, a week and a half left of this month, and we'll see if Tesla's going to pull a Hail Mary, do some price discounts before the start of the last month. And we've seen this before in the past. Tesla could do discounts now, or they could just do it right on the first week of the last month of the quarter. So it could get very, very interesting very soon in terms of pricing. In this next topic, Tesla has released Safety Score version 2. So let's take a look at it. And I want to hear your thoughts, because if you don't know what Safety Score is, you can access it from the app, and it basically tracks you as a driver and seeing how you drive safely or not. So you can take a look at all the different metrics. If you haven't seen it before, it's in the app, and I'll show you exactly where to go. But before we get into that, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description, but more on that later. All right, so let us take a look at this. Shout out to the Reddit user Artist Complaint 3. Safety Score version 2.0 is here. So if we take a look at it, this is all the different things that the Tesla is actually tracking you, and you can access it by download the Tesla app. You can scroll down a little bit, you can see Safety Score, and if you already have a Tesla, you will see all the different metrics that they are tracking you out. Mine is not the best, actually. I'm like a 78, so not very good at all. I get a lot of forward collision warnings for some reason. I guess maybe because I do a lot of late braking and I time the regenerative braking, but Safety Score Beta version 2.0. The first one is hard braking. Hard braking is now measured as a proportional time instead of a count. Braking when yellow lights are identified no longer count against your safety score. Okay, so not that bad. But we don't really use the hard brakes, right? I definitely try and use the regenerative braking as much as possible. Number 2, aggressive turning. I guess that makes sense. Quote, aggressive turning is now measured as a proportion of time instead of a count. So I guess like how much longer you're going to be aggressively turning at the end versus like each time you aggressively turn. Makes sense. Excessive speeding. Number 3, excessive speeding is now a new factor that measures the proportion of driving time done in excess of 85 miles an hour. Okay, that's good, because I don't think I drive over 85 miles per hour that often, but I know on like road trips, I definitely try and keep it around 75 because of the battery. Anything over 80 miles an hour, you're going to start to deplete the battery a lot. Number 4, late night driving. Late night driving is weighted by an hour between 10 p.m. and 4 a.m. I really don't think this late night driving thing is fair, because there's a lot of people that work in certain industries. I'm thinking like medical, doctors, nurses that have to drive late at night to get to their work. And also on top of that, there's a lot less people on the road driving late night. So I don't really understand the late night driving thing. Maybe if you are taking your vehicle to, going out and partying, I could see that. But there's a lot of people that drive for work, and it just doesn't make sense to me. And you probably all agree as well. This last one is unbuckled driving. Unbuckled driving is a new factor that measures the proportion of driving time done without the driver's seat buckled in excess of 10 miles an hour. Okay, so I certainly thought this unbuckled driving was like passengers or maybe even the backseat people, but this certainly makes sense. Unbuckled driving for drivers only 100% makes a certain sense. But the one thing that's interesting to me is I'm like in the red category for that one, but I always buckle my seatbelt. So I'm confused what's actually going on with that one as well. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts on it. Let me know what you're thinking. Of course, this is if you are signed up with Tesla insurance or using Tesla insurance. It has no effect on anything other than that. But I do know a lot of people sign up with Tesla insurance because Tesla insurance is actually the cheapest insurance from what I've seen, maybe even as low as $45 to $50 a month. So it's definitely kind of worth it, and it kind of forces you to be on your best behavior when you're driving around. But you can see your safety score in the Tesla app after you buy the vehicle, and scroll down all the way to the bottom. It's the third option from the bottom. But let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you're thinking. We're going to jump into the next topic. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is a Patreon link or support the channel, so definitely check it out if you're interested. But if you're just joining in, welcome. Tesla has discounted pretty much all inventory for the Tesla Model 3 from various discounts, anywhere from $1,200 to about $1,300. And so if you want the older price or even lower price, and this also confirms to stack on top of the tax credit, it's a $3,750 tax credit for the Tesla Model 3 standard range and $7,500 for the Model 3 performance. It does stack on top that because you're just buying a brand new vehicle, and it really shouldn't have any sort of effect at all. So this is crazy because this is a $1,200 discount essentially right now in the last week of May. We're still not even in June yet. The reason why I bring up June is because June is the last month of the sales quarter, and that's when Tesla's going to bring out all the different stops to try and push and or sell vehicles by the end, especially Model 3, because what's interesting here is that they added a $1,200 discount plus to all Model 3 inventory, and the Model 3 inventory is still staying relatively high compared to other models. So pretty much people are like, you know what, $1,200 no one really cares at all for it. It's not really enough to do any sort of incentives to sell these vehicles, because I really feel like Tesla needs to drop this price like $2,000 to $3,000, maybe even $4,000. Maybe if it even starts with the 2 in front of it. I don't know if they can drop that low. I mean, if you take a look at Model 3 pricing, the lowest it's ever been was like 36 and some change, or 36,990. And so if it goes even lower than that, then that could be a crazy time for people to try and purchase one. I think maybe if they did that, or did like a couple $1,000 discount plus a lower interest rate of 3.99%, just like they're doing with the Model S and the Model X, then we could very, very easily see more people more interested in trying to clear out and buy existing inventory for Tesla Model 3, because Tesla's got a problem right now with all this inventory just sitting on the lots, especially with the Model 3. So my question to you is, what price would the Model 3 be 100% worth it for you? Would you just buy it no matter what? Does that price starts with a 2? Probably it does. Maybe it starts with a 19. I mean, that would really destroy the market, but I could easily see some sort of clearance deal for the Model 3. I mean, they've tried everything at this point, right? They've tried a $300 lease that kind of didn't do really anything. They've tried lowering the price. It's kind of not doing anything either at this point. So I really feel like they either have to slash prices or put Model 3 prices on clearance to clear this looming problem of this many vehicles in inventory. Maybe if it's like a 5, 6, 7, I would say if it's 29,990, I think a lot of people will be trying to buy this vehicle. Or even if it's like a low 33, 34, because then with the tax credit, it puts it under $30,000. I mean, heck, that would be another good daily driver, I think, if it's under $30,000, because that's what, like $500 a month? It seems not bad, right? Not bad at all. But let's see what else we got. In this next topic, I just kind of want to throw this topic out to all of you because I want your feedback. And the question is, what price, or what's the maximum price you would pay for a Tesla Cybertruck? Of course, there's the competition out there. There's a bunch of other vehicles that are coming out in terms of EV trucks. So what price is the maximum that you feel like it's worth it for a Tesla Cybertruck? Of course, we'll take a look at the competition as well. And on top of that, of course, I polled the community already just to see what everybody thoughts. But I want to hear from you in the comments or in the live stream. But before we get into that, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description, where you can support the channel, but more on that later. All right, so let us take a look at this. So this is what we know, right? Tesla Cybertruck was just discussed at the Tesla shareholder day, investor day, and Elon said that their volumes of the Cybertruck could be anywhere from 250 to 500,000 units a year. And of course, that's probably not going to be an initial ramp. But on top of that, we also kind of can speculate that there's a lot of orders out there for Tesla Cybertrucks. I think the last number I saw was in the 5 million orders. And that's because the amount to order a Cybertruck was only a $100 refundable refundable deposit. So you can imagine there's a bunch of people out there. I know like Kilowatts on Twitter and YouTube has like 50 for himself, and because he's got a Turo business. So there's probably a lot of people out there that will probably cancel and not actually take delivery. But when the Cybertruck was initially rolled out, here's what the pricing was. It started anywhere from $39,900 all the way up to $69,900 for a tri-motor. But shout out to Electric, this is what they're actually predicting that the Cybertruck will actually be at, $60,000 to $85,000 for a quad motor. And of course, the other thing that kind of flip sides with all this is that there is a EV tax credit out there. And of course, trucks and SUVs qualify, but the price of those vehicles have to be under $80,000. So we could easily see a Cybertruck coming in under 80,000. I mean, fingers crossed, because I would love to see that. And in terms of the competition, we know there's a Rivian out there right now that's like an $87,000 truck, at least in what you can actually buy it for. There's the Ford Lightning that exists out there that starts at $59,000. And of course, there's the Silverado EV truck, which I haven't really looked at any of this truck at all, but GM just discussed how this vehicle should be getting like a 400 to 450 mile range. And I believe the MSRP, I mean, they're saying it's going to start at $39,900, but we really have no idea when this vehicle could be coming out. I mean, at least from when it's actually coming out. It looks like 2024, available in fall of 2023. So there's a lot of competition coming out. There's a lot of competition that's already out. And so really my question is, what value or what price would you actually be worth to pay for a Cybertruck? What's like the maximum? And so I asked the community out there earlier today, what's the max you would pay for a Tesla Cybertruck? And an overwhelming 35% said $60,000 to $79,990. 29% said $50,000 to $59,990. So we can easily probably see a lot of people not taking delivery unless it's in that price. 19% said under $49,990, and then 8% said $80,000 to $100,000. So I want to ask you out there, and let me know what your thoughts. Let me know what you're thinking. What price would the Cybertruck be where if you got queued up, if you order got ready to go, what price would you actually pay for it? Because the other thing Elon said is that it's been very expensive or not very easy to get the Cybertruck production under a certain price point. So, you know, it could really be that the Cybertruck could be coming out at 100,000 or 100,000 plus, and you can bet a lot of people are going to delay and or even cancel and not take delivery. So fingers crossed, I'm hoping for like a 60 to 79,000, just like most other people, because that's really where I could feel like I could justify and make it be worth it at the end of the day. But let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you're thinking. We're going to jump into the next topic. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is a Patreon link where you can support the channel. And there's a variety of benefits, but some of them include actually scheduling a call with me, where you can ask me any questions about buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or even financing a Tesla. And after you join the Patreon, you get a link to my buying guide, which has links to all the resources I use to get the best possible deal at the best financing rate, including credit unions and banks on that list that all have interest rates lower than Tesla financing, lower than Tesla's 5.59%, some even as low as 3.74%, that anybody is actually eligible and will qualify for, down to 2.99% for financing your Tesla, that not as many people are going to be qualified for that list, but there is a huge list of credit unions in the 2.99. So definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description. And as an added benefit, I do respond to all Patreon direct messages in the Patreon app at a certain level. So definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description. But if you're just joining in, welcome. Tesla has added an extra discount on all Model 3 inventory. This is, of course, to try and clear Model 3 inventory, because as you see on the screen, there is a ton of Model 3 inventory that is posted for sale across the United States. And you can see it, 738 brand new Tesla Model 3s. This could be because, you know, we've all seen the rumors or the speculations of the new Model 3 Highland that's coming out, or maybe because, you know, at the end of the day, the Model 3 is a stale vehicle, 4 to 5 years old at this point. There's the Model Y that's essentially very similarly in price, so it's probably cannibalizing the Model 3 sales because most people are probably just stepping up or even just buying the Model Y instead of the Model 3. And so I really feel like Tesla's got somewhat of a problem here with the Model 3, and they're going to have to do more than this amount of discount, more than $1,210 off, because this discount has actually been around for a few days now. And Model 3 inventory, you can see right here on the inventory screen from Matt Young, you can see inventory is still at pretty high levels at the ends of the day. So I think Tesla's probably got to do like a $3,000 to $4,000 price discount and or do some sort of magic with the interest rate, because they are rolling out a 3.99% interest rate on the Model S and Model X right now. And so I could easily see some sort of fashion with that rolling out to the Model 3 and or free supercharging and or just another discount. And we'll probably see that by next month, because next month is the end of the quarter, end of the second sales quarter, and that's going to be June. So that's where I'm calling it. If you can wait, if you don't need a brand new Model 3 today, you might as well just wait just another month until for that. But what else we got? Water break first. Hassan, where do I see it on the app? The safety score is on the app. Scroll down to the bottom. J-Dog guessing 79 grand. Yeah, 79 grand for a Cybertruck would be ideal, because then it qualifies for the EV tax credit. Qualifies for the $7,500 federal tax credit. And so that would essentially be ideal. And what's interesting with this is, so this is fueleconomy.gov, where you can see all the different vehicles that qualify for the tax credit, in whether it's $3,750 or $7,500. And I bet we're going to see the Cybertruck pop onto this list soon, if it does qualify. And that would be nice for sure, because let's see, does the Chevy Silverado truck is on this list, $7,500. So, Tesla could be introducing, or at least applying for the vehicle to get posted on this website. And we could see it getting here very, very soon. Michael, if they lower the Model 3 to long range to like 44K, I'd be in an instant. Yeah, I mean, the Model 3 long range is another vehicle that is just interesting, because it's on the website. It says delivery June of 2023. But is this the Highland? I mean, we talked about this could be potentially be the Highland refresh, or it just is the current vehicle, because they've got the picture on the website. And so we could easily see, I guess I could see it go both ways, but also the same thing. Like, we don't see any inventory Model 3 long ranges right now available, but it could get into the same exact issue for the Model 3 long range, because we did a price analysis with the tax credits factored in. I want to say the Model Y long range was $1,000 cheaper than the Model 3 long range. And so probably a lot of people are just electing to just get the Model Y at the end of the day. How about that Tesla Roadster deposit? Kind of crazy. Yeah, $50,000. It's a lot of money to fork over. And just the thing, like, a lot of people, when the first Roadster was announced, 4, 5, 6 years ago, a lot of people gave that $50,000 up front, and they kind of gave Tesla a nice interest-free loan at the end of the day, which is pretty nice. Crypto Joe, welcome. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for supporting. All right, we've got one more topic. And of course, before we do that, couple quick channel announcements. If you haven't seen, we are running a giveaway for a Electron EV charger for your Tesla. Shout out to Electron for sending us this charger. You can see it right here. I'm going to be paying for shipping for this, so do not be aware of all the scammers out there that are trying to collect shipping money from you. Do not send any sort of shipping money to anybody. I would never ask for shipping money. So we are running a giveaway for this Electron charger for your Tesla electric vehicle. To enter the giveaway, it's this post right here on the community channel page of my channel. You can go to my channel page and then click over to community, and then scroll down. It's like the third post, and then in this video it gives you the exact instructions on how to enter the giveaway. We'll be deciding the giveaway on May 31st, which is the last day of the month. And on top of that, we'll be doing another giveaway this coming Friday, because Jason at OC Tint Solutions wants to give away another installation of 3M ceramic tint for your Tesla. It could be a Model 3, Model Y, S, or X. So definitely hit that subscribe, because that's going to be one of the categories I certainly check. And I'm going to give you the exact instructions on how to enter this giveaway this coming Friday in Friday's live stream. So it could be a Model 3, Model Y, S, or X. And so Jason is a great, he's the owner of OC Tint Solutions. He's tinted my past 3 Teslas, and really fantastic work. If you don't believe me, just take a look at their 5-star reviews for 432 reviews. Absolutely amazing. And on top of that, they just started doing PPF, or paint protection film, as well. So definitely check out Jason if you're interested. All right, what else we got? Let's see. We got one more topic, and I thought this was pretty interesting. In this next topic, we're going to talk about the pros and cons for using a credit union for financing your Tesla versus, of course, just using a regular big bank or even Tesla financing. Because there is one con that is out there, and I try and give everybody the same expectations so that you don't get kind of blindsided about it, but we'll talk about it. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description if you want to support the channel, but more on that later. All right, so let us take a look at this. Shout out to Car Sales Guy on Twitter. Quote, everyone can agree that we are in a high rate environment. Well, unless you're buying a Tesla Model S or X for 3.99%. Quote, what should you do? If you want a smooth experience, stick with the big banks. So he's talking about Bank of America, Wells Fargo, all these other huge national banks out there. Quote, you'll pay a bit more, but the service is top notch. But the question he's asking is, want the cheapest APR? Shop credit unions. The downside, they're slow with clunky applications and approval processes. Quote, overall, credit unions might be a challenge, but it's the best to weigh the pros and cons. It's best to weigh the pros and cons for your situation. And 100%, right? I mean, we've said it for a while. We said it for a bit that if you want to finance your Tesla, if you're okay with 5.59% for your Model 3 and Model Y, then Tesla financing is going to be the easiest way to get an approval and also get your paperwork filed through and done and squared away. But on the flip side, there are credit unions that do have lower rates. There's one credit union that everybody can sign up for that you can get access to at my Patreon link down below in the description. That has a rate of 3.7% that everybody qualifies for, which you can easily get. Some credit unions are even lower than that at 2.99%. So you can imagine there is a lot of savings that you can get by having a lower interest rate from 5.59 down to 2.99%. But Car Sales Guy is completely correct. When you use credit unions, they don't have big teams out there that are calling and following up with you that can process all these loan applications. And so I always recommend, if you use a credit union, if you try and finance, like here's one, for instance, that we just financed 6 months ago, we financed our Tesla Model X through Labor Credit Union. And when you go through these processes, you have to kind of follow up with them to make sure that they have everything they need to process your paperwork at the end of the day for your loan. And so I always recommend calling credit unions to follow up every day or every other day, just to make sure all the paperwork is squared away and ready to go. But on the flip side though, is if you are a first-time buyer, if you are a first-time vehicle auto loan purchaser, then you kind of have to go through Tesla financing, unless you're going to be putting like 20, 30, 40, 50% down to try and make sure that the loan companies or the credit unions are comfortable with your financing. You either have to put a lot of money down, or you're going to have to have really good credit, or no, you have to have both, especially good credit and a lot of money down if you have never purchased a vehicle. But if you're a seasoned purchaser, if you got high income and you got high money down, then definitely you can go through credit unions. But just be aware that it could take anywhere from 1 week to 2 weeks from getting your loan to actual approval. So I do always recommend to try and time your delivery. If Tesla is giving you an estimated delivery date of basically within 30 days, then that's when you can start the process to try and get approvals for credit unions. And then you can always switch. You can always switch back to Tesla financing if you need to, if like the credit union for some reason is not working out. And also you can refinance through a credit union as well after maybe like 3 to 6 payments to show that you're actually paying off the vehicle. And so you could try that. But refinancing, I do kind of, give a little bit of a caveat out there. It only really works if you have good credit, good income, and a great auto loan history, because at the same time, refinancing that quickly can be a little shaky if you don't really have an auto loan history at all, and or you don't have a good credit score or good income. So let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you're thinking. If I missed some pros and cons from using a credit union versus a Tesla financing, definitely let me know as well. But we're going to jump into the live stream comments. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is the Patreon link where you can support the channel, and there's a variety of benefits, but some of them include actually scheduling a call call with me, where you can ask me any questions about buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or even financing a Tesla. And after you join the Patreon, you get a link to my buying guide, which has links to all the credit unions and banks out there that all have lower interest rates than Tesla financing. So definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description. And if anybody is out there that is about to purchase a Tesla, definitely check out our Tesla part accessory partners down below in the description so you can get a extra added discount. Thank you to everybody that has used our discount codes in the past. We've got 3D Mats USA, Tamai, Jawa, Tesloid, and MAGBAK. You can get extra discounts just by using code Dennis or variations of Dennis on certain parts and accessories down below. And thank you. A lot of you have been using the 3D Mats USA for premium floor mats for your Tesla very recently. So thank you all for that. I greatly appreciate it because a portion of any of your purchase goes to support the channel as well. For me, I'd say Performance Model 3 was dropped to $51,500 or lower. I would instantly buy. Jameson, even if the Highland was like coming out next month, would you still buy? That's my question to you because I mean, there's a lot of talk about this Model 3 Highland that's coming out. Michael, thoughts on getting matte wrap versus matte PPF? That's tough because Michael, just to give you another option out there, there's a color change PPF now out there. Like Inozatech just came out with their version as well, but I definitely got quotes and it's very expensive for color change PPF, almost to where it's like not worth it at all. I mean, full car PPF wrap is questionable to me. Like you can pay anywhere from $3,000 to $4,000, maybe even $5,000. So unless you're keeping the vehicle for 4 to 5 years plus, and unless you're doing a lot of off-roading or you're driving a lot of salt, winter climates and things like that, I really can't see it being worth it unless you like firmly commit you're going to keep that car for 5 years. Now, if you find a vehicle that and purchase it with PPF already installed, different story. Mike, I'll be using a referral once I order my Model 3 long range. Love your videos. Now, thank you, Michael. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for watching it and joining. If anybody out there is about to order a Tesla or even about to place an inventory order, because you can use Tesla referral codes with inventory vehicles, all you have to do is click my referral link down below in the description first, and then go to the inventory vehicle. You'll get anywhere from 1,500 to 2,500 Tesla credits, which you can turn around and use those 1,500 credits to buy 500 supercharger miles for your road trips. And there's a lot of swag in the shop as well for you to pick up as for that. But of course, you get the credits after you take delivery. And so thank you to everybody that has used our referral code so far, and check it out down below in the description. But thanks for watching it, everybody. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for hitting the like button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.